All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back with another video, and today it's going to be a summary. I'm going to leave all my pictures in this post. Hopefully Facebook don't knock them. There's a reason why I do the videos, because if you post other stuff, they have a tendency of knocking it, but when you do your own stuff, it's hard for them to debate that. First of all, let me get to this. 5G coverage maps, folks. Look in the description, in the post right there. I got pictures side by side from Florida back in June. They're talking about how Florida is having a spike in cases. In June and July, I took two pictures. One I just did today. Florida has new cases, folks, because they're down there building more 5G towers, and you can see it on the screenshots. From June 15th to today, July 14th, you'll see more towers built on the western part of Florida. Versus when you look at June on the western part of Florida, they're not there and they don't have that many cases. What we are experiencing, ladies and gentlemen, is EMF pollution from the 5G towers being built. If you've seen the Operation Lockstep agenda papers, it's all in their works. Rockefeller Foundation is pushing this whole agenda, and they have put Bill Gates in charge. It says that in their papers. And they also put Fauci up there along with them. But you know, Fauci's been sidelined by Trump here lately. Fauci's been caught on camera taking off his mask after he talks and when the interview is over, because he knows it's fake. Okay, he knows there's no real danger. That's why they got this dude. That's why they got this dude contradicting himself so many times, because he has not gone by the script. And in Lockstep 2020, there's a script in there. We know that in the script it says that the virus was created at Fort Detrick in Maryland, and then they said they wanted to have it at a class 4. This virus goes to every class 4. It's been the 3 class 4 that we know laboratories. Fort Detrick military base in Maryland. They moved it to Canada because they said that's where they wanted it to go, and then they had it smuggled out by a Chinese lab rat. And according to their dossier, they wanted that to be moved to China, and so they would use China as a fall guy. So when China said America is lying, or the administration is lying, we got it from the U.S. military, gave it to us, they wasn't telling a lie, folks. They had nothing to do with this virus. So is Trump telling us the truth? It came from China. We don't know, because this virus was created, folks. If you look at the timeline, 2008, it was studied from 2008 to 2013. That's during Obama's presidency. Your favorite black Muslim president had a lot to do with this virus. Bill Gates stood up on TED Talks and said the Ebola virus was a failure because it didn't reach into the urban areas and nobody took it on the plane and spread it. According to Operation Lockstep 2020, written in 2010, that was the whole game plan. Lock the nations down, but allow it to spread. So by the time the seed infection set, it's too late. Overhype the death rate. I done read it so many times, I almost got it memorized. Overhype it so that we can continue to keep people in fear. The lockdowns, folks, were meant to weaken the immune system. That's what they say in their own paperwork. The masks are not meant to help you. That's what they say in that Lockstep 2020. They were meant to weaken the immune system. But whether or not people have common sense, where's my mask at? You got something over your face, folks. You're breathing out carbon monoxide. Where do you think carbon monoxide is going? I've got videos where people got carbon monoxide testers inside the mask, and with less than 3 seconds, the carbon monoxide meter starts going off. The masks are not meant to save anybody. They are meant to kill you. Operation Lockstep 2020 Rockefeller Foundation. They mean to kill the food supply. They did that. They had WHO downplay the human transmission so it could spread. That's what they wanted to do. Everything that they set forth in them papers in 2010 have come true. Now, when you look at the outbreak map, look at the 5G map, their new cases are coming from 2 things. First, it's been recordly hot here all around the country. Healthy lungs have a hard time breathing hot air. So now you want to throw a mask on top of that while you're breathing out carbon monoxide and then sucking it back in, giving yourself a headache, making yourself lightheaded. That's called, what is that called? Hyperventilation. Folks, in their paperwork, that is designed to kill you. That's what they want. Self-suffocation, as my wife just said. Like a fool, we got this mask on. I mean, come on. This is the thing that really burns me up. My wife said, you're getting too deep in it. I am. I make myself sick because it's retarded. It's the stupidest thing ever, folks. You have to breathe out carbon dioxide out of your lungs. But that carbon dioxide needs to escape your body, not suck it back in. Like smoking some weed and then blowing the smoke and sucking the smoke back in. That's what you're doing with a mask. It's the same dumb ideology, folks.
Suffocating yourself with your own hot air.
What my wife said, you're suffocating yourself with your own hot air, and it has been proven with carbon monoxide meters. I've set that out there. Let's go over this real quick. Bill Gates just invested $650 million into 5G. Oh, you got your tinfoil hat on. You tripping. Really? I can come with all kind of evidence to back up everything that I've been telling you folks. 5G is, y'all remember Voltron Lions? I know my brothers do, and Dale, my cousin Dale, we used to watch that growing up, right? And the strongest lion out of all of them was the black lion. There was 5 of them. Well, 5G is the black lion out of the, it's the black horse out of the other 4 horses combined. Because Bill Gates' technology, when he left Microsoft, I've been researching this devil. He left Microsoft and bought up a bunch of vaccine companies, fake vaccine companies at that. And he spent a lot of money in 5G. He has billions of dollars invested in the UN, the FDA, the CDC, and the WHO, folks. That's why the narrative continues to be pushed. Fear, 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 fear of dying. Fear of dying, right? They did that. Lockstep 2020, they talked about causing a major food shortage, sending people into hysteria, because it's all meant to kill us. The Gates Foundation, Rockefeller, the Rothschilds, all of these jokers, okay? They want 500 million people on Earth. The Earth's population is at 6 billion. In 5 to 10 years, we'll be at 9 billion, but we can control that number with vaccines. That's what he said on TED Talks. He just told everybody, I'm into controlling the growth, the human growth population. Then I saw another TED. I showed my wife all of this stuff, so don't nobody think I'm going crazy, because now she knows because I showed it to her. Then he stood up and said Ebola was the biggest failure because it didn't spread into the urban neighborhoods. You couldn't take it on a plane and pass it around. You couldn't infect people quietly. So that's what they did with this virus. They attached an HIV strain to it, according to Operation Lockstep, so that the COVID virus would attach itself to the human genome, because they said it was spread like wildfire in bats when they tested it back in 2008 when they first created this. So they infused HIV into it to make it attach itself to the human genome pool. Then Bill Gates stood up on TED Talks and he trolled everybody. He put up the movie Contagion on the screen. And in that movie Contagion, the virus was spread around by a bat dropping poop in pig food. The pig ate it. They took it to pig to slaughter. The pig was infected. It went to restaurants. The cook chopped the pig up, cooked it. He had the pig juice blood on him, wiped it on his apron. He stood out in the lobby, or at the restaurant, at the grill, took a picture with the white woman in the movie, and then she took it and spread it, and then it just spread all over. That virus had a 30% kill rate, and that's the virus that they plan on releasing on us when we go into a second lockdown in October. Because they have October to November 2020. That's when they plan on doing the second lockdown. They've done everything to step so far. Let the country loose in June, and then say it's too early. This is Operation Lockstep. Say it's too early, and then make another, and then overhype the counting, the death toll, or not the death toll, or the case number. Overhype it. And then when we go back in the second lockdown, they're going to say, blame it on the protesters and people that wanted to go out and get their hair cut. It's your fault. Your freedoms have consequences. This is something that they wrote in 2010, okay? Look at all the info underneath this video on this post if Facebook doesn't knock it, okay? 5G, folks. 5G, the vaccine, the chip, and the virus. Those are Bill Gates' 4 horsemen. They all work together.
Don't let them kill you, and don't kill yourself.
That's right. 5G satellites since 2018 have been launched. SpaceX. That's called Project SpaceX. By 2021, they want over 20,000 satellites in space. Amazon is requesting NASA and the FCC that they put 3,100 5G satellites in space. So here's the thing: when Bill Gates said, "I want a global satellite mapping system," that's 5G. Why? So we can track everybody that has the chip in them and everybody that took the vaccine because they took the vaccine because they had the COVID-19 virus. Those are your 4 horsemen. And now we see 5G satellites being thrown up all down through the southern area, and they got new cases. Okay? Look at the maps underneath this post. What we're seeing in this country, folks, is EMF pollution. COVID-19 is activated by 5G. That's what Italy said when they found out. They said it's not a virus, it's a bacterium. But we know that 5G, the EMF radiation, clots up your blood. And that's what they say COVID does. 5G also inflames your lungs. I got rushed to the hospital before I end this video. I had to call my wife, come and get me. It was super hot last year. I went online, found an article to back up my story. Maintenance guy that I was working with at this water company that I worked with, he had to walk me outside because I could not breathe. It looked like they said, you about to die. I was. My wife came and got me, rushed me to Garden City Hospital here in Westland. Last year, it was extremely hot. 100-degree weather, humidity 80-90%. They said I had inflamed lungs. What they give me? They gave me a steroid shot and an inhaler. And it went away. But here's the thing. That hospital emergency room looked like a pandemic. The hospital was full of men and women in there who could not breathe that summer. And it was like that for most of the week that week, from what I understand. So we didn't know COVID back then. Maybe they've been launching 5G since 2018, okay? In select cities and select markets. That's what they're still doing. They're activating them towers, and it's making people sick with EMF pollution. Look it up. Look it up, folks. Everything I'm telling you, you can look up yourself. And then when you find that information, share it. Wake people up, folks. Operation Lockstep 2010-2020. That's what we're under. Deuces.